What's up YouTube, it's Yemi here again from SwingTradeFX, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I went from the setup right that you can see on your screen right here to this setup, giving me 1:17 risk reward, totaling about 170.5% of my account, even though I went in really big with 10%, which I do not advise anybody to, but I'm going to be showing you my trades so that you guys can learn something out of it, right? So I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. So let's go. Okay, so welcome back. And as you can see, the setup is still on my screen because I wanted to actually make this video for you guys so that you guys can learn something out of it, right? And as you all know, the market has been falling lately, right? A lot of crazy stuff like the Bitcoin over the weekend. Everything is like really going crazy. And you always need to inform yourself, okay? And that is why I will always recommend the fast bull market, right? To get your 24 hours by 7 news. As you can see, you can always come here every day of the week to check, and you can always get your economic calendar if it's your preference to actually trade the news, right? So once you click on them, right, you're able to have access to them, right? Just like how to kind of know what to expect for the week, right? You don't necessarily have to trade with the news, but it's always good to be aware of the news, right? And many other features like the charts, you can use the charting system and you can get in different groups to interact with other traders, right? Okay, so please and please, I would recommend that you should be aware of what is going on in the market. You don't necessarily have to use the news to take your trades or make trading decision like myself, but it's always good to know, okay? So you can catch it. The fastest place to get in is the fast bull market, so I recommend that all the time. So let's get back into what we got doing today. So this is the setup right here, and as you can see, it's still right here on my screen. So what I'm going to show you today is how I came about the setup and the psychological intricacies that got involved in this, and how did I know the market was going to fall? The market made some retracement even when I got in, even though my stop loss was a bit tight. So what was I able to do on this trade? Okay, so let me show you guys real quick. So I looked at this trade. This was a daily time frame setup for me, as you can see on my screen. This was a daily time frame setup for me, and I have different levels that I've marked in the market, okay? And one key things that I've come to realize on the monthly time frame, which I'm going to show you guys real quick, and this is going to help many of you guys in your subsequent analysis as long as you trade the GJ, is that the market has gotten to a point. Let me take this off so you don't get confused. The market is at a very critical point from a monthly time frame perspective right now. And from the look of things, the market could actually be going to a very, very bearish level, right? If this particular momentum continues in the market, I want to believe 100% that the market might actually give us a sell. I'm just saying this first before we get into the details. I think the market is rejecting a very strong key levels, not just because this is a previous area of support on resistance, but also it's an area of the 61.8 Fibonacci level, okay, where the market had rejected in the past. So I think the market has closed back into the Fib levels, and I genuinely believe as long as the momentum is maintained in the market, we probably might be having a situation where the market will retrace at some point and just get down to this level. I genuinely think it's going to happen. Okay, so I was able to see this over the weekend to understand why the market was selling. Okay, so that was the first thing I saw in the market. So I went straight to my weekly time frame. I saw that, okay, the trend is valid and the market might just be ready for an early phase of a sell, right? So when I go to the daily time frame, I identify my key levels. So at the time, this level right here was a key level for me. This particular level right here was a very key level for me. And why was this so? It's very simple. the market was around, the fib level, and I was expecting the market to kind of bounce off the, 61.8 fib level. So that was a very strong zone for me. So aside from that, it's also a very strong area of support, as you can see, right? Previous area of support. So that was a very strong area for me. So that became my area of interest for that particular, setup. Okay. And, in addition to that, I keep understanding where, injections might be coming in, not necessarily because it's really relevant for the trade, but I'm the type of trader that I want to be able to have every story that leads to where the market is at. Okay. So I was able to get that done. And so you remember that we're actually rejecting the monthly 61.8 level and monthly previous area of support on resistance level. So that's the very key thing I keep in my mind. So I looked at the trajectory of the market and I saw how the market has been moving, right? Because the moment the market went below this level and make this last lower high, I was beyond reasonably convinced that the market is actually coming down, right? So when the market got to this level, initially, I think I took a buy last week and it hit me out on break even. So I was even more convinced that the sellers are in the market, right? So coming down to my 1 hour time frame, the market was hovering around this point at the time. So I had my setup. I was looking at this with one of my students. So if you really, really want to trade with me, if you really want to have direct access to me, I see a lot of people text me from YouTube, but really I just don't have the time because I have more time to dedicate to my students. So if you are having a hard time trading, you should actually join the SwingTradeFX mentorship. Honestly, when you can be in a community of traders that are learning together and you're able to backtest together, I can literally tell you that this is going to help you as long as you're very serious. I'm going to show you mechanical ways to approach in the market without having to think too much, right? What you need in the market are just specific principles that you need to operate on in the market. Once you have the knowledge of those principles, application becomes easy, right? So you have the knowledge and you have a form and system of applying the knowledge, you're definitely going to get results. So let's get back into what we're doing. So now, the moment the market got to this point on the 1 hour time frame, I was able to identify the 1 hour time frame injection level where the market was coming in, and I saw what the market was doing. And the injection level is actually a key level for me because I was of the opinion that if the market continues to go back up, perhaps I could have the market come to this level, then we can actually further sell. And that was my initial outlook. However, I was objective. Now, this is psychology coming in. I was very objective to the fact that if the market should break this level right here, I could be having a further sell down. Now, I could be having a sell first to this level right here, which when you look at it with historical data, you can see that this is also a support level, right? So I was looking at that area as an area where the market will actually give us some form of rejection as well. And I'm going to show you how it played out. So now, the moment I have my checklist and expectation of what the market is going to do around this point, I came back to the 30 minutes time frame and then the 15 minutes time frame to see what the market is doing. So on the 15 minutes time frame, I was able to identify key levels because I had a plan for the buy case scenario and the sell case scenario, right? Because this is a very important level, right? The market could actually pick a support level from this point because it was also a previous area of support in, higher time frame 61.8 level, right? So I said to myself that I'm only going to buy this trade on one condition, right? If the market make a push at the time of my entry, when I was waiting for entry, I had a support level right here. So I'm only going to buy this trade if the market make a move to this level, give me some kind of like consolidation right here, just to build up to break this previous area of support. Then, I can be having this. So, I had my plan for the case of a buy. And I said to myself, if the market is going to sell, okay, I need the market to give me a further push down, showing more sellers, in the market, right? And when the sellers came into the market, I knew that the market was ready. And guess what? I waited for a pullback, right? So what happened? The buy case scenario acted like it was gonna come, but then went lower down. And this is where I got convinced beyond reasonable doubt that we're going to be selling. First, we're going to be selling to this support area. Then if the market breaks that level, I'm going to be selling even way further down, right? So the moment the market broke here, right, we knew that all we needed to do was to wait for the market to pull back. And what do we have? We had to pull back to this level. Guess what? This was a previous area of support on resistance, right? And as long as the market was still under this trend line, I was sure that the market was going to reject. So what did I do? I waited for the market to pull back. The moment the seller starts to get into the market, the moment the sellers start to get into the market, I knew the market was ready. So what did the market do? We got into our trade right here, and guess what? The market went to this targeted level that I spoke about. Apparently, I was even asleep, right? So the market got to that level, but I was sure that the market was going to break it, because a break of this specific level and a further push down means that the market is actually going to the daily zone, which is lower, okay? So the moment the market broke in, I was able to enter. So upon getting up in the morning, the market has started rejecting. Now, this is the point where a lot of people panic because they don't actually know what to do at that point. Especially, I was able to recall that maybe some news happened, which clearly, I do not really care about the news in making my trade decision, right? Structure is king and technical analysis is king, actually. So the moment the market came to this level, my stop loss was still up tight right there, right? And I said that as long as the market trade below this trend line, right? As long as the market trade below that trend line, I think this trade is still very valid. Now, does that remind you of something on the trend line, right? Where I spoke about the market making touch 1, touch 2, touch 3, right? It broke right to this level, making touch 4, then touch 5 to retest it, and the market was coming down. If you haven't seen that, please go watch my trendline video, which you're gonna see pinned above right here. So, and if you want to have further knowledge, trust me, the YouTube content is really great for you, but it's not for traders who want to take their trading to another level, right? You definitely should join my mentorship program. And I think a discount of 10% is running right now. So you should be able to take that if you want to earn consistently in a systematic manner, right, in the first market. Anything that has the susceptibility of giving you profitability over and over means it has a system around it, right? You can't just operate with knowledge you pick from here and here. You're going to be frustrated. Trust me, I've been there, done that. So now the moment was there. My point of interest was this area, and I wanted to see how the market was going to react. So what happened? The moment the market closed into it, I knew the market was selling. And what happened ever since then, as my stop loss and take profit was being set, I was actually targeting this point right here. So my initial target on this trade, as you can see right here, was 1:20, right? But then I was willing to close whenever the market gets to this point, right? But the moment the market started to reject, I was able to close somewhere around here to give me about 1:17. I think my exit was right here. The moment I saw that the market broke this structure, I mean, the market could be going for a deeper retracement. So the moment the market gave me a sell down, I actually did close this trade. So this was how I was able to get it, right? Now, let me talk about the psychological part, right? And this is why I say you needed actually a mentor. You see, when you're making a lot of money in the market, there's tendency for you to start looking the direction of the numbers, right? Now, if I looked at the numbers and I've closed my trade right at this point, trust me, I won't be earning what I'm earning right now on that trade, right? So it's your ability to be objective. That's number one. And your ability to think in terms of risk reward and in terms of percentage that helps you become mentally clear, right? Because listen, anytime you're in the market and you're entering, you want to take a trade, the market, trust me, will always give you a retracement. But then what do you do at the point of that retracement? Do you panic out like most people do, or do you stick your eyes to, the direction of the market? Do you stick your mind to what the market is doing based on your analysis? Many of you guys, you do your analysis and you just do another thing, right? You execute another thing. That's not the best way to go about it, right? There are specific principles that has been taught with specific tools. As you can see, most of what I use are just like the trend lines and the support resistance zone, right? But most of what I do is actually from my mind, right? I know what I want to do. So what I'm doing, what makes me money is not necessarily what I do on the chart. It's about the clarity of what I have in mind and my ability to interpret what I have in mind to be able to produce results. So I need many of you to really sit back and watch in psychology. If you need a trading system, you cannot be trading sporadically, right? Where you use a strategy today, tomorrow, and you cannot actually start taking different knowledges and wanting to build a system out of it, right? Any knowledge that must have a systematic approach must actually be learned step by step, sequence by sequence within the framework of that system, okay? So this is the mistake I see a lot of people do. Now, how do I feel about this trade? Nothing really much, nothing really crazy. It's just another 1:17. Would that be my biggest risk reward this year? Yes. Previously, my record was 1:14. Now this is a new record for me. How do I feel? I really do not feel any kind of way about it. Then, okay, it feels good and exciting. You take in those emotions, you accept it, and you just reset. You can't be too emotionally attached, either being wanting to revenge by the reasons of your loss, or being too overly excited and feeling that you're invincible. Hey, it doesn't work with this market. The moment you start feeling invincible, trust me, the market will expose you every single time. I have been a victim of this. It happens to even the best of us, right? So you shouldn't be attached to the outcome of your trade. Just work with the profit and take your profit and reset and renew that same sequence that led you to this again. Once you do it over and over, you're going to find out that it's going to bring a lot of consistency to your trading. So I hope this has been able to help someone. Every single thing I just did was just look for the trend on the higher time frame and break it with the knowledge of my intuition and the knowledge of my ability to know when the volumes of the sellers are coming in and position myself rightly. It ain't nothing really serious, right? So this is the knowledge expressed after being able to achieve mastery, okay? But when you're starting out, as easy as it seems, it might not be that so easy, okay? So I urge everyone to actually practice, get a mentor. You can sign up with the SwingTradeFX and you're going to be able to do things like this, okay? And you have free stuff right on my YouTube, where I've been able to discuss specific tools and how to use them to actually providing results for yourself or producing results for yourself in the market. You can tap into these resources, right? They are not there for you to just save on your phone. They are there for you to watch all the time so that you can learn from, okay? Many of those free resources on my YouTube are what most people charge thousands and thousands of dollars for, actually. But I left it that way for free because I have a plan to be able to get at least people to have the right framework of forex trading, that it's not really that hard, okay? So I wish you guys the best. And you're gonna find me doing more review of my trades just to show you guys that it works, right? Over here, I am not really necessarily interested in being popular or put out shiny stuff or show you guys the kind of way I live. But if you have a good eyes for knowledge and in-depthness, right, you're gonna realize that Swing Trade FX, there's no games here. I show you my wins, I show you my loss. It's crazy because the last video is actually my loss, and now I'm talking of 1:17. That's how crazy the market could turn. And it's only Monday, right? It's only maybe the first day, trading day of the month, and I've been able to hit my next 3-month target actually. So whatever it is that I trade in the market right now is just an additional bonus. You guys can do it too. There's nothing really special about this. So I wish you guys the very best, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.